I'm
I
done.
love
I'm
it.
done with all of it, Coach. We're live right now. Listen, welcome in to another Cover 2 Monday. There's nothing that's going to be said behind the scenes that is not going to be put on the show this
We'll
week.
do
I'm
it live.
and tired of all of it. We were backstage talking. I said, you know what? I'm just going to hit the live button. I'm going to hit the live button. So here we are, Cover 2 Monday. What's up, Coach, man? How you doing?
What's up, Jess? How you doing, man? What's going
Oh,
on?
fantastic. I guess I'm getting drug all over social media. I didn't even know. A lot of people are making some money at my expense, getting a lot of likes. So I guess I've made it. I don't know. That's what I'm being. That's what the streets are telling me, I guess. I don't really care. But here we are, man. Listen, the 49ers absolutely crushed the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. So a complete game. Special teams was on fire. CMC was on fire. Brock Purdy was on fire. Overall, might be the most complete game they've played outside of the Falcons. I still think the Falcons game is probably the most complete, but this was a really good one. Defense forced 3 turnovers. Just a really, really good performance. Now, I mean, listen, we can get nitpicky. I think the Cardinals have lost like 6 of 7 or 7 of 8. So, I don't understand the grandstanding and victory lapping, but such is life. The 49ers absolutely got a win. And now what's interesting is they are set up with 7 wins, 6 games left. All they have to do is get to that 10-win mark. And they've got the schedule in front of them because they have the Panthers this week. And then the second to last week of the season, they play the Bears. Both those games are at home. And both of those games could help decide whether they get in the playoffs or not. Those are 2 teams that they've got to beat. So the 49ers have it all laid out in front of them. Overall, though, what did you think of yesterday's game? Just any general thoughts that you have. Anything, whatever's on your mind, brother. We haven't talked at all today, by the way. Have not talked at all. So whatever you throw at me, it's going to be the first time I'm hearing it.
I'm worried about the defense. I understand that we're scraping the bottom of the pot right now, but Tatum Bethune with a high ankle sprain, giving up over 450 yards through the air. We did lose. I mean, we did win, but Jacoby Brissett went off. Okay, that was something that was very frustrating to me. 47 for 57, 452 yards, 2 tutties and 2 picks. I will say it was good to see picks. I think that's definitely something that gives us confidence along the way. I do like the style in which we won this game because that's what it's going to take for us to win those games that you mentioned down the stretch. We won this game because we were offensively led. The offense is the reason why we won this game, and special teams. Sky Moore, I mean, coming out of nowhere, right? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. With the return and the opening kickoff was phenomenal to see. But what I will say is that we did what we were supposed to do, right? Give me a chance to love on them. We did what we were supposed to do. Brock Purdy came out, was class personified for being out this long. Christian McCaffrey did put out some comments talking about basically Brock was vintage Brock in the sense that he performed in the situations that we needed him to. He was very efficient.
Brock, like he's been in the league for 10 years. All right, go ahead.
Look, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go because you can't.
I don't have a lot to say. I'm just saying that's a interesting comment. Vintage is like old school. Like, you've been around. You've done a lot of things in this league. Like, we're talking about a player who's been in the league for 4 years. But I digress. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the American apple pie perspective on this, okay? Because sometimes when in Rome, all right, man, when you're in the throes of football, all right, you have to be able to, you gotta match the culture, you gotta match the vibe. And right now, this is a battle-torn team who has not been healthy the entire year. They have not had all of the guys that they've needed. They've lost some of their bedrock foundational players and still have won with a backup quarterback. And they finally have health. Everybody in the 53-man roster was ready to go sans Diamador Lenore, and he even was able to go that day. They showed improve. They were the hammer and not the nail. Finally, they were up. Everything worked. Everything went swimmingly. They deserve to have a no frills win. They deserve it. They're due. They're due, right? That's how I'm choosing to see this. They're due. They have earned this type of win. Being as though if you look at everything that they fought through the season to get there. Now, is some of the stuff self-inflicted? We can have that conversation. Are we putting a little bit too much dip on our chip? Is this way too much praise? We can have that conversation. Are people taking a victory lap over beating the Cardinals? We're better than that. That's exactly what I said before we went live, bro. I thought we were better than that.
We're not better than that.
Dude, let's be where our feet are. It's important for us to have a victory Monday. They deserve it. All right. I felt it was good to call a game where we looked like an efficient ball club. Now, albeit we beat the Sisters of the Poor. Okay. We didn't beat nobody. We beat Bubblefuck State. But it was a win. It was against the NFL team, and it was a divisional win. So it counts. You can't be a Niners fan and be on the opposite side of a divisional win on the road. You can't be. So I'm willing to give it to them for hours. But, dude, we got Carolina. They're a live dog. All right? You keep messing around with Carolina. I'm looking at them right now. What's Carolina's record? What are they, 6-5? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, they're 6-5 right now.
They haven't had a bye week? Huh, okay. No, you might be. I mean, you're probably right.
Yeah, they're 6-5. I'm on PFF right now.
Okay. No. Okay. Yeah.
And like you said, the Bears, they're a live body. Indiana, we still got Seattle. So the season is still contextualizing in front of us. We've got a lot more games for us to really have the debate that people really want to have right now, which is Brock Purdy's back. This is what the offense does when Brock Purdy's back. We have so many opportunities to get into that, all right? And it would be foolish to have it now. And those who want to have that conversation now, they're not serious about the conversation. They're just grandstanding. They want to leverage the conversation, and they want to use straw mans and gaslight because right now is their time to shine. Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, Purdy, came through and did his thing today. You got to give it to him. He was efficient. The passes were floating through the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude,
I think an actual angel took that one and dropped it into Kittle's hands. I mean, it was just beautiful.
True angels in the
doves flew from the end zone as soon as he caught it.
It was amazing, bro. It was everything you wanted. And if you look at it from just a historical context, Brock Purdy shreds the Cardinals. He's like averaging, his QBR is like 120 against the Cardinals. Like, this is what he does with the Cardinals. He did this last time we played them. So, hey, it is what it is, man.
No, I mean, I think both are true, right? You can say that he had because he did. He had a really good game. But then also to then on the flip side say, well, see, this is the question that I asked, and this is the question that set people off, because again, people love to attack the person and not the argument. And usually when that happens, that means you've won the argument, because nobody can answer the question. What did Brock do yesterday that Mac Jones couldn't have done?
That's such an antagonistic question, though.
It's a real question, though. What did he do that Mac Jones couldn't have done?
All right, because
give me the one thing.
Okay. So put it like this: the same energy that we had with what Mac Jones was doing to keep the Niners in the win column, the Rams game, both Rams games, right? The performances that Mac Jones was putting out, it was fair to say, dog, could Brock Purdy do this when Mac Jones was here? You see what I'm saying? Could Brock Purdy do this? Now, we had our time, okay? But don't you feel like it's a little obnoxious to ask that question when this is Brock's first game back after being injured all this time? And as Christian said, no, this is a real thing. nothing really gets you in shape like football. You got to play football, right? And the fact that Brock came out and played football and performed, he could have laid a fucking egg. And let's be honest, the entire performance, I think I've laid enough faithful foundational currency right now for me to say this as well without anybody wanting to kill me. Brock almost threw 2 picks. Okay? That happened as well. So we can sit back and be happy and pleased with an efficient, strong performance, and Brock showed out and did a good job. But there were holes there. There were. He wasn't infallible. I'll tell you one thing, like as far as mobility is concerned, he's not trying to leave past the line of scrimmage, right? He's not trying, like getting out of the pocket.
Which is smart, though. I mean, that's a smart thing to do. Yeah.
But the mobility's not all the way there. So, hey, man, come on, bro. We got so much more time to do this, bro. Let's walk down and get them all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my point is like, and I've told you this, like, people are like, why do you hate Brock Purdy? I'm like, I don't hate Brock Purdy. What I hate is the people that try to make him somebody he's not. And so now I'm the a-hole because I ask questions and poke holes in the argument. And then all of a sudden I'm the jerk. It's like, well, Brock Purdy's X, Y, and Z and EPA here and QBR here, and you didn't watch the game, so I'm going to try to mind fuck you into this stat here, and he's elite. And it's like, well, or, I don't know, I could just watch the games and tell you he's a good player, but he's not elite. And what about this? Or how about this in his game? Or what about... And all of a sudden it's like, well, you hate Brock. It's like, no, I don't hate Brock. I just don't like that you put him on a pedestal that he doesn't belong on. And those people that try to take him and make him something he's not, they're the ones that are the problem. Like, I'm meeting people where they want to be met. If they think that he's this guy, then I'm going to talk about him like he's one of those guys. I'm going to criticize him like I would a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson or a Joe Burrow, who I've criticized for being injury prone. Lamar Jackson is getting it a little bit from me. I love Lamar Jackson, but I'm like, listen, man, if he gets injured again next year and misses multiple games, they don't make the playoffs, it might be time to have the conversation.
That's on his jacket.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, these are real things. So if you're going to be labeled that dude, then you're going to get criticized like that dude or questioned like that dude. And that's just the way that this works. So he either is or he's not. Now, if you want to have a real conversation and just ask what I think of him, I think he's a good player. I think at his best, he's borderline top 10. I think that's completely fair to say. I definitely think he's better than Mac Jones. I've said that the whole time. I think he's better than Mac. I just think the difference between him and Mac is not significant enough to where it makes him worth all the money, especially when you add in the injury history. So that's the take. That's the real take. Now, yes, am I going to go a little bit far with it and poke the bear a little bit? Absolutely, because I have fun with it. But the real take is he's better than Mac Jones. At his best, he's a borderline top 10 quarterback. I still wouldn't have paid him. That's the take. That's the real take, and that's what it is. He played really good yesterday, though.
Okay. Like, how do you close with how do you say all of that shit and close with he really played good yesterday, though?
He did play good yesterday.
All right, so but this is the thing, though. Context matters, right? Brock Purdy, for what it's worth, outside of the money, Jesse, he's our franchise quarterback. Just put the money aside. He is our franchise quarterback. Our franchise quarterback, who has been hurt for the majority of the season, just came back and played against a divisional opponent on the road, looked good, and we won. That alone is enough for you to just take the win. Just take the dub. All I'm saying is that, dude, we got, like I said, who do we have? We have Carolina. We got Cleveland. That's going to be a test. Tennessee, we're going to whoop their ass. Indiana is going to be crazy. Chicago and Seattle, the last 3 weeks are going to be tests. All I'm saying is, why are you looking at me like that?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. I'm not looking at you like I'm. Yeah.
All I'm saying is that having that conversation now it seems like just a bad faith take of like, I think he's top 10 at his best. Dude, he's been hurt the majority of the season. I just want to see him get through a game healthy and look like a starting quarterback, look like our franchise. Let me ask you this. The Mac Jones question aside, let's say Mac Jones isn't even here. Did Brock Purdy look like a franchise quarterback yesterday?
I mean, define franchise quarterback. I guess I don't know.
Did he have full command of the offense? Did he take advantage of most of the opportunities that were there for them? And did he keep the ball clean? Did he look like a franchise quarterback?
I think my biggest thing is protecting the football with him. And he did protect the football outside of 2 throws, but you can get nitpicky on every play. So as long as he does that, then sure, yeah, he did.
Right. So I just feel like from that perspective, man, stall him out, Debo. Like, give him a week, bro. There's so many more games. Like he's gonna play out the rest of the season now that he's here. I think that's the goal, right? God forbid if he
plays out the rest of the season. Yeah.
Right. So, hey, look, we beat a team that we were supposed to beat. This is my thing. What would you be seeing if we lost? My God.
I mean, I think it all comes down. It depends on how it all went down. Are you talking about with Brock in particular or the team?
Yeah. What if we lost and Brock didn't play well?
If Brock didn't play well and we lost, that would be a whole different conversation. If
what
Brock
would you be
played
saying?
Well and they lost, if Brock played well and they lost, then
no. If they lost and Brock didn't play well, what would your perspective be?
Against this team, they shouldn't have brought him back, and they should have just stuck with Mac Jones. I mean,
all right. So and from my perspective, I don't care who you are. You could be Tom Brady, Joe Montana, John. You could be anybody. If you're gone for 2 months out of the year, damn near, all right, and you're coming back, there's going to be remarkable rust if you're coming back. So even if Brock had a bad game in this game, he deserves a game. You don't think he deserves a game?
I think Brock was, and I've said this the whole time, I felt like Brock coming back was in an impossible situation.
All right.
Because Mac, especially after last 2 weeks, really, because they won and then they lost to the Rams, but he looked really good against the Rams, especially now that we saw what Sam Darnold did against the Rams. And then we remember what Mac Jones did in 2 games against the Rams. Brock was in an impossible situation from the standpoint of if the scenario that you laid out happened, he would get crushed. If the scenario that played out happened, which is he played really well, but it's just the Cardinals, right? And if they had lost, even if he had played well, then it's like, well, they won with Mac, but they can't win with Brock. No matter what, I just felt like Brock was in an impossible situation. And so I'm willing to let it play out. But again, I'm meeting people, like the question here is, why have these combos after the win? I'm just meeting people where they want to be met. These are the conversations that are being brought to my doorstep. So I'm having the conversation based off of what is being brought to me. What is being brought to me is that, see, Brock's elite. Look at what they did. Most points scored without the context of, I don't know, starting the ball on the 1 yard line to start the game, and multiple interceptions that turned into getting the ball past the 50-yard. Like, none of that context matters. It's just they scored the most points. The special teams and defense performs better because Brock is just simply on the field, and that's what it is. So it's like, well, if we want to have that conversation, then let's have the dumb conversation. But if we just want to talk about Brock in totality, I felt the whole time like it was an impossible situation for him. I really did.
I understand that. I just, we've been involved. I don't like to throw around like I'm fucking Lombardi or something, but I've been involved with football for the majority of my young adult life. And what Christian said is true. If you're away from the game and you're not playing, especially during the season, like, dude, that's like trying to hop on a moving train. It really is. Like, everybody's moving way faster than you. Like, it's not even like they're in shape. There's a whole nother tempo once everybody is like in the middle of the season, right? And being able to pick up and perform, I know, and Kyle did it. Another thing that nobody brings up, and if we can be meticulous on finding things about Kyle that we can critique him on, then we can be meticulous about finding things about him that we can, be positive about. Kyle called an amazing game for Brock. He
Oh
dialed
yeah,
up. He dialed
for
it up.
sure.
He dialed up an amazing game plan for Brock. He made it comfortable for him. Brock was comfortable, and a lot of that was due to how Kyle called up the game. He did a phenomenal job. So
But
I'm glad.
that's exactly what he should do, right? To your point, when you haven't played in as long as Brock hadn't, you
Mhm.
don't just come out and start firing 3-pointers, half
Yeah.
court shots. You got to get some layups, man. Just see the ball go into the basket. That's all you got to do. Get some free throws, get the
Mhm.
easy stuff, and then you get that confidence. Like when you look at what he did, there wasn't a throw that was special or anything yesterday. Now he did make a really good throw to Kittle for sure.
Mhm.
Definitely deserves credit for that. But he operated within the offense. And this is the biggest thing with Brock Purdy. And this is has always been my biggest critique of Brock Purdy.
Mhm.
Just play within the confines of who you are. You don't have to be somebody different. Just be you. When people talk about Brock Purdy, they compare him to guys like Drew Brees. And it's like, well, Drew Brees was super methodical. He won the game with his mind, not his athleticism. And he made the right decisions repeatedly, was extremely accurate, and didn't put the ball in harm's way. That's not Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy does put the ball in harm's way. And even yesterday we saw it. And it's not every quarterback makes mistakes. It's just the YOLO plays. It's when they come and how they look, that it's on first down on a regular basis instead of third down and you're doing an arm punt.
Mhm.
Or, when it is first down and all you have to do is you got outside the pocket, you made a play with your legs, just throw the ball away. But instead you want to throw into double coverage. It's like, why, man? Why do you got to do all that? If you just throw the ball away there, that's the smartest thing you could do. Live to play another down, and then you can be labeled the cerebral quarterback that everybody wants you to be. But when you have those YOLO plays and you're not that guy, that's where the issues come in. And so that's all I've ever wanted to see from Brock is that he just plays within who he is. You can't go out there with a game manager skill set and a gunslinger mindset, because that's exactly what got Jimmy G in trouble. That's what I always hated about Jimmy. It was like, man, you don't play the game with your mind. What I like about Brock is he does play the game with his mind. I think he does a lot of pre-snap checks. He does a good job when he turns his back to the defense. I think he makes a lot of smart decisions, but there are every single game, it seems, you got 2 or 3 of those plays where he just says, F it, I'm throwing into double coverage and hope my guy makes a play. It's like, you can't do that, man. That's not how you in particular are going to play winning football. Josh Allen struggles to play winning football when he does those things. Now, on the flip side, Josh Allen is the type of guy that can make 2 dumb plays like he made yesterday
Yeah.
and then get 6 touchdowns, right? Like he overcame it. But even I'm in messages going, listen, I love Josh, but that was a dumb play. What is
I
he
was whack.
doing there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was whack. Why are you throwing into double? Why are you in scoring territory and you're just throwing the ball up for grabs on second down to be picked off? Like, that is the dumbest thing ever. It's dumb for every quarterback, especially when you're not a guy that can just put the cape on and take games over. That's not who he is. So play within the confines of who you are. And if he did that on a regular basis, man, there would be really nothing to criticize. But those YOLO plays are what is the bugaboo every single time with him. Every time.
All right. Well, I mean, I can get that. I for one don't. It doesn't really rile me up that much. The biggest thing for me with Brock is just staying healthy. He's got to stay healthy, and honestly, what he can't change, and for me, it's just Brock's arm strength. I think that half of Brock's 90%, honestly, of Brock's issues, if he had a stronger arm, would be done. He'd be the perfect quarterback, honestly, if he had a stronger arm. I just, in my opinion, I'll close this out, or not close this out, but I'll bring back the topic to your initial question, which is, could Mac Jones have done what Brock Purdy did yesterday? And the answer is yes. We know this. Brock, he probably would have done more because Mac Jones hasn't played with everybody. So he hasn't played with this iteration of the offense. So that I don't know what that means though. You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean? Does that mean that because Mac Jones possibly could have did a better job than Brock Purdy against the bum ass Cardinals, that, oh my God, now we have a quarterback controversy? I mean, what does it really mean that Mac Jones has had a couple of good games with us against slack teams?
Well, I mean, the Rams are a slack team. I mean, that's twice he played well against them.
That's true.
Twice.
The Rams kind of solidified it.
He had almost 700 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception in 2 games. One of those games without George Kittle, one of those games without Jawan Jennings, both those games without Ricky Pearsall, Brandon Aiyuk. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he proved a lot. Again, the debate is not, is Mac better than Brock? The debate has always been the exact same, and it's going to remain the same, which is Brock worth being treated like a franchise quarterback? And to me, the answer is unequivocally no, and it's always been that way, period. That's all it is. So,
I mean, I feel like that's the larger conversation, but contextually, he deserves a game to get his feet wet, if we're being honest.
Yeah, listen, if we're going game by game, and that's why you said, well, I don't know how you can say all that and then say he played well, because if I'm looking at it within the confines of just the game, Brock played really good football. Like there's not a debate about that. There's no argument about that. There's no pushing back about that. But then if you want to do what people are doing, which is grandstand and be like, see, he is a franchise quarterback. Look at what he did against the Cardinals, who have lost 6 of 7 or 7 of 8 or whatever the hell they got going on. It's like, well, okay, then, because that's what people are doing. They're taking that portion, that one game, and trying to parlay that into he's elite. See, this is what we've been missing. See, he's a franchise quarterback. See, it's like, well, then let's have that conversation, because that's not going to work with me. It's just not.
Okay, but I think responding to that narrative is the worst of us. And if you look at Forever Faithful podcast, and like that's really the energy, bruh. He took us to the Super Bowl. Like, look at that. Like that's the energy
to the Super Bowl.
But you're completely missing it. The energy is like, dog, he's our franchise quarterback for a moment. Can we not just get him back and get him acclimated? He took us to the fucking Super Bowl, bro. Like, I feel this comment, bro. I can almost hear him saying it, like, bruh, he took us to, like, why are you talking about this dude like we found him on a doorstep?
There's a backup quarterback for the Rams that took us to a Super Bowl too. I'm just saying. I'm just going to throw that out there. I can't. I mean, I don't know. Anyways,
jaded, bro.
Joseph says if Brock had 40 touchdowns and 0 interceptions and won a Super Bowl, I'd still hate him. Why? You don't have to hate him. This was the other thing that got me. People were like, how can you hate Brock Purdy? It's like, okay, who actually hates Brock Purdy? Like, let's just break it down for a second, right? Brock Purdy was the last pick in the draft. Brock Purdy came in, played really, really good football, got to an NFC championship, got his arm ripped to shreds, came back probably earlier than he should have, played well enough on a stacked team to go to a Super Bowl, played it. The reason they lost the Super Bowl was not Brock Purdy's fault, by the way. Not at all Brock Purdy's fault. He played well enough for them to win that game. He did. Right? Did he carry them? No. But did he lose the game? Absolutely not. He did his job. Then he got paid stupid money. Once again, after being the last pick in the draft.
Right.
He's a good person. As a Christian man, I'm have admiration for his outward faith. How can you hate Brock Purdy? Nobody hates Brock Purdy, but you have to be able to separate the person from the critique of the game. And if you can't critique somebody or pick their game apart or talk about who they are as a player and separate that from liking or disliking the person, then maybe the sports conversations are not for you.
I get it, man.
Joseph, you don't hate him. I know you're joking. I know he is, but either way.
I get it. Go ahead.
Sir Cash Money says, Co Jesus, And Jesser, what up? Yesterday's game was brutal. What y'all pick for GOTY? What's GOTY?
Something of the
Game of the
year,
year?
game
What's
of the
y'all
year.
pick for game of the year? I got my hopes and dollars on Silk Song Expert. I don't even know what this means. I don't. He always does, dude.
I forgot this is what he does.
He always speaks in hieroglyphics. I don't get it. Game of the year, game of the year, game of the year. Just across the NFL in general or the 49ers? Game of the year, if we're just talking NFL, was that Broncos Giants game for me. The way the Broncos came back and scored like 38 points in the fourth quarter or whatever, that was nuts. 49ers wise, game of the year would have been probably that Rams game, just because I was there and they won and they had no business winning that game.
That was
so
crazy.
I would go with that
the first Rams game was a game of the year for us, honestly.
Dazza says, with all the Brock and Matt comparisons, the stat that Purdy fans seem to forget is one is making 50 million more than the other. Yeah, I mean,
it is the money. I mean, and if you just literally want to just take it from that perspective, then that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's day one. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah, you're gonna pull that out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so two things then. If we're talking about the Cardinals game. One, what did they prove against the Cardinals? And two, what questions do you still have after the Cardinals game about the 49ers?
They proved that they have a lot on the bone. They have a lot left from the standpoint of the offense. I feel like Kyle, we brought it up earlier in the show, but Kyle called a beautiful game for Brock. I think that one thing that we kept saying while Mac Jones was doing a great job filling in for Brock was how great of a synergy there was between Mac Jones and Kyle Shanahan. And I know that we were saying it, it was tongue in cheek of, oh, well, Kyle's really showing the organization what he really wanted all along in Mac Jones. But for what it's worth, Kyle did call an amazing version of the offense for Mac. He got the ball out quick. He really suited Mac's attributes very well, right? So I saw that with Brock, right? And that's something that you got to give Kyle kudos to, that they kind of took the ball off running right away. So that's one thing. Also, the more they use Brian Robinson Jr., I have faith, man. I got faith. All right. They're still finding ways to bring in B-Rob in the run game, which is good for Christian McCaffrey. Also, I love that George Kittle is coming on stronger and stronger every game. Every game he's been back has been better than the last. This game was another great game for George. George went the hell off, and he's got his legs back. Remember in the first game, it just really didn't look right. I think that they called that, what did they call that jet sweep with George like 3 weeks ago?
That was awful. Yeah,
that
I
was
don't know
very
what that
weird.
That was a terrible play call.
It's good to see George back in shape, back in form. He's got his legs. That nice streak down the right side of the field, touchdown. That was awesome. He's back in full form. And then also the offensive line seems to like they're getting some cohesiveness. So I feel like, yes, we played against the Cardinals, but they're not just some like completely destitute squad. K. Ellis Campbell was in that game. Dalvin Tomlinson was in that game. Stills was in that game. Josh Sweat. So this offensive line went against a full slate of a front seven, okay? So it's not like, I understand guys were out. Budda Baker was still in this game, right? So they went against some guys that actually give them problems from time to time, especially K. Ellis Campbell against the Niners offensive line. So yeah, we beat a weak team, but we made them look weak. And that's what's more important. I'm choosing to lean on that side.
I think that's my biggest takeaway, is that they didn't play a tight game against a team that they shouldn't play a tight game against. If the 49ers are a team that is truly vying for a playoff position, you're playing a team that just got smoked by the Seattle Seahawks, was without Marvin Harrison Jr., their second best wide receiver is out for the year with a torn ACL or what have you. They're without their best corner. Yes, I know the 49ers are injured. Don't get me wrong. I understand that the 49ers are injured. I'm not feeling sorry for the Cardinals, but this is a team that is in shambles, has lost 6 of 7 or 7 of 8, whatever the stat is.
That shit sucks, bro.
they're going nowhere. And so if you had let them hang around in that game, that would have said more about you than it does about them. And to start that game with a 98-yard return and punch it in play one and establish the dominance early, never really be tight in that game, that's exactly what you want to see from the 49ers. So for me, that was the biggest takeaway. They did exactly what they should do if they are a team that is fighting for the playoffs and you're playing a very, very bad Cardinals team. I don't care if it's a division game or not. I know division games can get squirrely. I understand all of that. But the 49ers came out, dominated that game from pillar to post, and that's exactly what they should do. That was my biggest takeaway from that game for sure. I agree with you.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, we did what we were supposed to. And that's like I brought it up earlier. Like that's why for all of the nail biters that we've had this year, like all of the close games that we've had, the games where we've completely been shut out, and been shown kind of like who we are as far as like what's wrong.
I'm sorry. I said that Sir Cash Money talks in hieroglyphics, and then he literally posts hieroglyphics. I can't with this guy, dude. He's just too much. Well played. Very, very well played. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I lost my train of thought.
I don't. All right. Why don't you talk about question marks you still have for this team? Because I know that I get it. It's not apropos to come out and talk about, what do we still have question marks? Let's just enjoy the game, coach. But there are some things that are still like, okay, maybe you should improve here, or you might want to just pay attention to this still. It's still a little bit of an issue. Like when you look at this team, like what do you see that still raises an eyebrow for you?
It's bittersweet because I would love to talk about special teams and the guys that Sky Moore was amazing in the beginning. Phenomenal. But hey, dude, don't look now, but Pinheiro is hurt and we missed 4 extra points. That's a big deal. I know we blew these guys out, but we got to the point where if anybody's noticing, like everybody's like, why is Kyle going for 2? Because we can't kick a field goal. He didn't feel comfortable with us kicking a field goal with that.
Well, and Pinheiro was hurt too. At that point, it hurt his hamstring. Yeah, it was just wasn't good overall. Yeah.
So that's a big deal. And then also, just listen, man. I know we're not going to face world beaters, but we did give up over 450. We did give up over 450 yards in the air. That's like, I know it took Jacoby Brissett 57 attempts to do it, but hey, Michael Wilson, he was doing whatever he wanted. Like, am I tripping? But he had like a day. I want to know his numbers. Yeah, receiving. Michael Wilson he had 15 receptions for 185 yards. Trey McBride had 10 receptions for 115 yards. I mean, dude, these are Madden numbers. So we really can't stop anybody. And then don't look now, but Tatum Bethune, he's down with a high ankle sprain, and that takes at least 4 to 6 weeks. So I don't know who we're going to bring in his stead. And then Robinson, he went down multiple times. He came back, thank God. But look, right now, the defense is just, we're a sum of all parts. And we just got to find some force contributors to be able to help us out. But those were my biggest things. We can't make any extra points, and it really seems like we can't stop anybody through the air, at least.
Thank you for bringing up this point. Josh DeBell, if you're not following him on X, you definitely need to. Per PFF, Jacoby Brissett was under pressure on 10 of 57 dropbacks. 17.5%. Brissett had been under pressure 47.8% of his dropbacks this season going into the game. So 47.8 of his dropbacks, he's normally under pressure. The 49ers were only able to pressure him 17.5% of the time. This pass rush is still almost non-existent. That is a scary, scary proposition because we saw what happened last week. When you play an elite quarterback, you get absolutely shredded. And Jacoby Brissett, listen, I get it. Kyler Murray, he's going to start over Kyler or what. Jacoby Brissett is a journeyman quarterback in this league. And the fact that he was able to drop back 57 times and put up those kind of numbers, the 49ers are going to struggle when they play any competent quarterback that just has time to sit back and pick them apart. And the 49ers don't have any reinforcements coming back that are going to all of a sudden help them pressure the quarterback at a higher clip. This is a team in the Arizona Cardinals that struggles to protect their quarterback. And even then, the 49ers could not get near Jacoby Brissett on a semi-regular basis. That is very, very concerning.
Well, there's a silver lining to that cloud, my friend, which is we've got 7 games left. What is that, 6 or 7?
6.
We've got 6 games left in the season. And I got news for you. We're all out of competent quarterbacks. We don't see any for the rest of the season.
We got
Bryce Young.
Sam Darnold.
Hold on.
I'm joking.
Hold on. Yeah, exactly. You know what the hell, Sam Darnold shit the bed yesterday. So look, we've got Bryce Young. Come on, stop it. Cleveland.
Hold on.
Bryce Young let me finish. Let me cook.
Just real quick. Bryce Young threw for 448 yards and 3 touchdowns yesterday. I'm just throwing that out there.
But he's still whatever, dog. You don't, hey man, you gotta show consistency. Fuck out of here. So we got Bryce Young. You got whatever the hell they're doing at Cleveland. It could be Shedeur Sanders. It could be Daniel. It could be anybody.
It might be you.
It might be. I could play against them, and I'll shave for us. So Cleveland. That's the thing where Cleveland's defense is always, their class personified, but their offense, whatever. We're just sticking with quarterbacks. Then we got to buy. Cam Ward is struggling with Tennessee. Okay?
Yes.
That's a fact. I love him to death, but Cam Ward's struggling. Indiana, Daniel Jones, man.
That doesn't matter because Jonathan Taylor's going to go for 400 yards against us.
Yeah, right. They're going, that's going to be but we're just sticking to the quarterback situation. It's still I love Daniel Jones, right? But Daniel Jones is nobody to be worried about coming in. This is a Daniel Jones game. He's very athletic, though. You got to watch out for Daniel Jones. He'll get out on your
sneaky
ass.
Athletic.
Yes. And then
that's a white trope.
You got, Caleb.
Sorry. Just wanted to throw that out there. Go ahead.
He's a scooter. He scoots. So
he's a first guy in, last guy out type. You know what I mean?
Well, there he is, man. He's good. He's great with fundamentals. He's good. Funny. He's a team leader. Right? Raised the whole team GPA as soon as he came on. So look, hey, then you got Chicago. You got Caleb. Come on, Caleb Williams. That's all over the place. Even though Chicago is a tough team, we're just keeping it to the quarterback perspective. Caleb is, if you don't like what Brock Purdy does as far as being erratic and throwing YOLO balls, come on, man. Caleb Williams is a nightmare. And from that perspective. Mm-hmm. And then we got Sammy D with Seattle. So as far as quarterbacks are concerned, we don't really see anybody that could we're not going to see another Matt Stafford. That would worry me.
I'm just saying what is the ceiling of this team? I guess I'm looking more towards the playoffs. You're going to play the Bucks. We can say what we want about Jared Goff, and maybe the Lions don't even make the playoffs at this point. But if they are in the playoffs and you play Jared Goff and you don't pressure him, he's going to cook. He just is. Baker Mayfield is going to dice you up. Matthew Stafford will dice you up.
Eric is hilarious. Coach,
what happened?
He said coach is listing a bunch of quarterbacks better than Jacoby Brissett.
Actually,
that's fact.
True. He's right. He's right. He's right about that. He's absolutely right about that. Yeah, you're a good call on that one. That's true. That's true. Actually a good point.
It's true.
Very good point. I'm just saying, when we look at Bryce Young and the numbers he put up yesterday, I'm like, are we sure he couldn't do that against this 49ers defense? Are we positive? Because Jacoby Brissett just did it. So if he went for 448 and 3 touchdowns against a Falcons defense, which has been getting after the quarterback this year, and we can't even pressure, Bryce Young might do that again next week. It might be, and not to mention, Dowdle has put up 200 rushing yards damn near twice this year. So, they could be a complete juggernaut as far as I'm concerned. Yes, the Panthers against this defense, the 49ers defense, the defense just concerns me overall. It just does. At some point, you run out of horses, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just you're down so many players, man. I know. You're right. You're right.
We got
It's
a
a good
barn.
call.
We're trying to hold on to the land. The deed is up for auction. Shit.
All
Horses.
right,
Trying
let's get some sleeper real quick. Golly. All right. Use promo code LSS to get a 100% deposit match of up to $100. If you use promo code LSS, you can also get a free $20 entry without even making a deposit. Link is pinned to the top of the description. Let's make these picks real quick. Listen, I don't even know what this is here, but all I know is if
this
somebody's
soccer?
supposed to get no, it's not soccer. This is professional gaming. If somebody is supposed to get 31 and a half kills and that's the more or less, and you're giving me a half, I'm going to take it. I think he'll get at least one kill.
What's your kill
Whatever
death
that means.
ratio, bro?
Yeah, bro. Sorry. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I don't even know. Josh Allen will get one passing yard. There we go. That's the freebie I'm taking. Okay. James Cook, more or less 68 and a half rushing yards. What do you think? Against the Texans on Thursday.
Less.
Oh, I like this. That's gutsy. Okay. Ooh, Will Anderson. Does he get home? Does he get a sack?
Yes.
Okay. And last but not least, Nico Collins, 66 or 76 and a half receiving yards. That's a yes. Come on.
Yep.
This guy's an absolute beast, and that Buffalo defense is atrocious.
It's
all right, we're going to
bad.
do 10 on that one. 10 to win 75. We're going to submit that entry. You got 5 minutes to cancel. We're not going to cancel. We always let it ride on Last Second Sports. You can tail us, you can fade us, but either way, use promo code LSS when you play Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy football app, and, have a little skin in the game. All right, Coach, let's read these super chats real quick. Too Much Sauce says, is Sky Moore a bona fide returner now?
No.
Yes, for the 49ers, because the 49ers haven't had a good returner in a long time. So he's better than what we've had. Trent Taylor was a returner once upon a time for the 49ers. He's no Ted Ginn, I'll give you that. But as far as what the 49ers have been dealing with at returner, yeah, he's about as bona fide as it gets, I guess.
As far as consistency is concerned, I love what B-Rob, when they had B-Rob back there. I like B-Rob as a returner for us.
That's fair. I like B-Rob too, but they got them both back there. Braun Sausage says, see you on a round table.
See you at round table.
Round table sports. Yeah. Go Hawks. Yeah. Braun Sausage, man. He's a Hawks fan. Oh, I can't listen. So we talk about the Brock Purdy thing. I was all on Sam Darnold's neck going into this week's game. Everybody on the panel wanted me to apologize and just bend the knee that Sam Darnold is better than I think he is.
Have you had this show yet?
Oh no, tomorrow. I cannot wait.
I'm watching.
I cannot wait.
Here's
the funny thing, Coach. So when your team wins, you're supposed to wear sunglasses. I haven't wore sunglasses all year. I'm going to wear sunglasses tomorrow, but not because the 49ers won, but because Sam Darnold sucks. That's why I'm going to wear sunglasses. So I can't wait for that. All right. I want winners. Is it me or is Brock sailing most of his passes? Don't say that, man. Did you see the box score? Do not talk about what you saw with your eyes. What did the box score say? I want winners. That's all that matters. Alex says our offense needs to start fast and use the run game with multiple running backs. Also, what do y'all feel about our linebackers with Tatum being out for a bit? It's scary. It's very scary. I mean, they're one more injury away from, I don't even know who would play for this team. The linebacking core. Here's what's crazy about this, Coach. Last Monday, you talked about how bad the linebacking core was for this team.
Yeah.
And here we are a week later, down Tatum Bethune. We're not expecting it to get better without Tatum Bethune. So,
no. I was over here looking at the depth chart right now, trying to figure out who the hell would even come in. It's bleak, man. And at some point, like I said, we're injured on defense to the point where how do you honestly assess them when you know what they have? Like, honestly,
I don't even.
Like, how do you look at the defense and say, hey, man, we got to get off the field on third down, and we can't even touch Jacoby Brissett? I'm waiting to see what they come out with, right? And see how they get this done, because they got their homework to do. This is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, and it's not getting any easier. That's for sure. Okay. Gaza says, why not play CMC and B Rob on the field together? Because Kyle used to do you all right, you may or may not remember the play, but there was a one play where Kyle Juszczyk went in
Didn't know
motion
what
like
he was doing.
400 times.
I
I was
remember
like,
that.
what in the hell did I just watch? It was like you know what I want to do? I want to retake the play, and you know, like the sound, the
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
do that and like incorporate that as he's running back and forth in motion. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, what is he doing out there? Because Juice needs to be on the field. That's why.
Yeah. I just think that they trust him. It's all about trust with this squad, man. It's what they want. And hey, you know what? Now that we have the information, it's not as if they don't see what we see as well. They let Juice go, and I feel like Kyle wanted Cam Scatterboo. I think Cam Scatterboo would have been the role, would have been the Juice role, bro.
Yeah, that's a possibility. It's a possibility. Savage AF says, at least we don't have to worry about bringing Moody back. Washington signed him. I'm sure Debo loves that. I hope he misses a kick and then Debo just walks by and is like,
finish what I started.
no, yeah, exactly. It reminds me of the what was it, the Dave Chappelle skit when he did the My Cribs, and he like goes in, he's got the sweatshop, he's like threatening him. That's Devo.
Can you imagine it, like during a game, if Moody misses the kick and Debo just walks up rolling his sleeves back, I got it, everybody. I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. Jake, get over here.
Grabs him by the scruff.
Again?
Oh my gosh.
Again, Jake?
Alex says Christian Wilkins is a free agent. Should we consider? I don't know why he's still I gotta imagine he's not healthy.
He's injured.
Get he had the weird stuff, but he's just not healthy. There's no way somebody would pick him up. He's too talented and too young of a player. It's weird, whatever, but he's still too talented to not be picked up by a team. He's injured. TVU says his arm length or height more important in the trenches. I would go arm length. Yeah.
Arm length.
I said it with a question mark because I wanted you to like back me up on that.
You can go, if you got long arms, you can do everything technically, and you can get a guy off you and be able to get inside of his pads first with long arms. That's like 90% of the battle. Don't got shit to do with height.
Yeah,
Warren Sapp wasn't tall. Randall wasn't tall. Aaron Donald wasn't tall. Height don't matter, man.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Alex says, do y'all think any free agent signings are in the future? Well, I mean, they keep getting injured. They're going to have to sign somebody, right? You got to keep a 53-man roster. So bring people in from the practice squad. I don't know. Not anybody in particular that I can think of, but I also haven't gone like dumpster diving on the free agent market as of late.
Yeah, so, I haven't gone there
I don't
yet.
know. I've got to imagine somebody is there. All right. One last thing before we get out of here. I want to talk about Brandon Aiyuk. He was a hot topic last night in the chat when it came to the post-game show. Yet another week and they're not going to open up his practice window. So I'm going to pose the same question to you that I posed to David last night, especially now with the context of knowing that the practice window is not being opened up. Does Brandon Aiyuk play a snap this year, in your opinion? Like if this was the more or less on sleeper and we put the snaps at a half a snap, are you taking the more or are you taking the less?
Well, obviously I'm taking the less, but I'm not encouraged, but there's way too much football for me to say no. I don't feel good about it right now, but there's way too much football to feel like he's not playing. We got 6 games left. That's a lot of football. So it doesn't look promising because obviously we're looking at every indicator moving along and not opening the practice window. I think what he has to do, he has to practice for 4 weeks or 3 weeks. 3 weeks in the practice window.
I mean, you have, once they open the practice window, they have 3 weeks to activate him or he's done for the
Mhm.
season, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a 3-week clock. So obviously, if you would open up a practice window, he wouldn't be playing immediately. So we're kind of looking at it like, hey, Brandon Aiyuk could get activated after the bye, right? And if he gets his practice window open probably by next week, he could be ready for the bye. After the bye, he could be ready to go by Indiana. So when you have when you're dealing with a player like Brandon Aiyuk, especially with the money involved, you look at every possibility along the way, right? You just don't lean onto your own understanding. Now, yes, it does not look good right now. It's kind of looking like he's not going to play this season. But for the caliber of player that he is, you've got to exhaust every possible situation. And with 6 weeks out and a bye still there, we still have a bye. You gotta wait. You still have to wait. Use a little bit of patience.
I think that's the play, right? If I'm the 49ers, assuming health,
Mm-hmm.
you open his practice window going into the Cleveland game. He practices all week, doesn't play. Then he has the week of rest for the bye so that he can kind of get his body right. Then he practices and plays against Tennessee to get ready. And then for that 3-game final stretch, at least he's got a game under his belt. He's gotten his cardio up over a 3-week
Mm-hmm.
time span, and he's ready to go against that tough 3-week stretch where you got
Mm-hmm.
the Colts, you got the Bears, and you got the Seahawks. That would be ideal
Right.
if I'm looking at it. Again, is he healthy? There's a lot of questions there. I think Brandon Aiyuk does play this year. I really do. And I also think that there might be an element of gamesmanship here. If
Mm-hmm.
you believe that Brandon Aiyuk is a player that they want to trade this offseason, I know a lot of people do believe that. If
Mm-hmm.
that's the case, you want to play him to showcase him and let everybody know he's back, but you also don't want to risk playing him too much and getting him re-injured because then you're definitely not going to be able to trade him. So
Well, that was
I
going to
think
be
that
my
there's
next
something there
point.
too. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
that was going to be my next point. For those of you who are saying BA is done and ergo, I feel like there's two in the same. Everybody who thinks that BA is not going to play anymore also believes, most of them anyway, also believe that he's going to get moved, right? So there's not a lot of people that think, oh, well, BA is not going to play this year, and they're probably just waiting for him to play next year. There's people where the crowd that thinks that he's not going to play for the rest of the season also believe that he's never going to play for the Niners again. But that doesn't make sense for what you just brought up, is that the Niners, they're going to want to get a full haul for BA, and they're going to
Yeah,
have
as
to
much as they can.
show that he's healthy. So he's got to play, right? They can't wait until the next year. He's got to play. So for me, it doesn't even make sense to shut him all the way down if you don't want to use him, because you're going to have to show, if you do want to use him, you got to play to show that he's actually healthy. So I believe that they're really being cautious with this. If you just look at it from a glass half full perspective, what if they rushed him back and BA got hurt immediately, dog? Do you understand how, come on, dog? Like it would be ridiculous if the Niners can't keep their guy healthy, $30 million a year, another year down the drain. So to be honest with you, there's a lot of ways to fuck this up. And
Mm-hmm.
for where we are right now, again, the same way we felt like one player wasn't going to, help us or sink us as far as giving up assets or hurting the team as far as the trade deadline was concerned, and we felt that way, then why do you feel that way about BA?
Yeah.
The,
Yeah, I hear you.
him coming back is not going to miraculously change all of the injuries and the people that we have out this year. So if you're the Niners, you've been doing this with two guys, really, Brock and BA, where you're saying, look, man, you guys are real assets. You're our future, right? You guys are the youngest of what was the core, all right? And we paid you as such. So the last thing we want to do is double down on stupid and rush you guys out here in like a not necessarily a meaningful season, right? As far as championships are concerned, every season matters, but you understand, like, we're not in the hunt. We don't have huge championship contention this year. So I'm willing to wait it out.
Frisco Shill says if BA plays and does well, what do you think the Niners can get for him this offseason?
A third.
I was gonna say a third. Maybe it could be like one of those, escalator trades where it's like, hey, it's a third, but if he does X, Y, and Z, you get a second. Maybe you're definitely not getting a first for BA anymore. That ship has sailed. The 49ers are really, really good about this, where they only want a player for another year or two. And instead of taking a really high pick for him, they just wait until their value is trash and then they get rid of. I don't know. I don't understand.
I like Gojira Von Jinx's comment. BA can't help the worst defense in the NFL. He doesn't have anything to do with that.
Very, very true. Very true. Keith the Unbeaten says, yes, Jesse and Coach, we back like cook crack.
In the JanSport backpack. Let's get it.
Nice. Well played. Well played. All right, man, Coach. Another good show, man. I love doing these shows with you on Monday. I can't wait till next week. Next week, actually, we're gonna have to try to find another day to do it because we play on Monday. So we're not gonna be able to do the show on Monday, but we got to get this show in, man. We have to find a way because next week's game is huge, bro. It's a huge, huge game against the Carolina Panthers. Because if they lose to the Panthers all of a sudden are in the driver's seat ahead of the 49ers for that final playoff spot. So this is a game that they absolutely need. It's going to be a good one. 49ers are at home, so you feel good about that as well.
Yeah, Harris, post-game reaction? Who you doing post-game with?
I always do it with David, but we could
do
it. Okay, I like it. This is a good idea. Although, yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to hold Coach to this because Coach does like a whole 3-hour game before this.
That's true.
So,
that's true. We'll see.
It might be a lot. We'll figure out a day to get in the show though, because it absolutely has to be done. I wish we had the bye.
Good suggestion though, Harris. That was fire.
Yeah. I wish we had the bye week after this because then it would be really easy to figure it out. So, anyways, we'll figure it out though. All right, y'all. Listen. I'll be back tomorrow with Sunil. I know you got your show tomorrow with Chunder Boy, I believe. Yeah, am I correct about
Neutral
that?
Zone.
See, I'm figuring out the schedule. So make sure you check that out on Coach's channel. You can definitely come in and check out the show with Sunil and I tomorrow. Spider369 says, any chance that we draft Drew Alar? Maybe. I like Drew Alar. A lot of people don't. I wouldn't draft him in the first round for sure, but if he's available in the second, I wouldn't mind having him. I don't think the 49ers draft him, though. I think that's too steep. They would rather draft a running back that they're not going to play or something. I think that's more up their alley. So anyways, all right, y'all. Have a blessed night. Talk soon. Much love. Peace.
All right, brother.